any support order written without a custody adjudication is void. That basically means if I don't got no custody over my kid, there's any child support order you write is void. You get what I'm saying? So, like you tell them that. Also, all the orders or temporary orders and child support orders they write out, it doesn't have under the seal of the court and signed by an actual acting judge, like an Article 3 judge. So therefore, that shit's void. But
yo, what's going on, everybody? We at the Hit House Chicago today. This is Tony Stacks. We here with my boy Major. 773 DBTV. 773 DBTV.
773 DBTV, bro. Come on.
My bad. I got the little.
Come on.
So I know who you are.
Yeah.
I know who you are, but you know what I'm saying? Let the people know who is 773 DBTV, you know, before the business, before everything.
773 DBTV, what's the word, man? Look, y'all know me. If y'all don't know me, owner of Hit House Chicago, MvMix official, Stop Child Support, pioneer engineer. More coming soon. Worked with all the top people in the city. Responsible for a lot of the top people in the city coming up. But yeah, shit, I'm just a normal person, just like y'all. Shit.
You know what I'm saying? Before the music, before all the business, what was life like for you?
Before the what?
Before the music and the business, what was life like for you?
Shit, I started at like 12 years old, really getting into the music. So before 12 years old, I was really into the sports. I was playing a lot of baseball. I was really into travel leagues and shit like that. Baseball, basketball. I played basketball a little bit more on the street level and shit. I played all the sports, but I would say baseball was the bread and butter for me until I got into music, for sure.
Okay, for sure. And you never thought about taking it further?
Taking what further?
Taking baseball further? You never thought about
it? When I was doing it, I wanted to be a baseball player, like for a short period. I would say a short period of time, but for that segment of my life, I wanted to be a ball player, for sure.
Okay, for sure. That's interesting. That's something I didn't know.
Yeah.
And you always say that your trauma fueled your future. You know what I'm saying? Well, what pain is that fire?
My trauma built my future because I was forced to grow up. I was forced to, start being responsible, before I even knew how to be responsible. So I would say I had to teach myself a lot. I had to raise myself. My parents, they did the best they could, you know what I'm saying? But they was just like the blind leaded the blind, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like, they loved the shit out of me. I like to think so, but fucking, they only knew so much and they were still healing themselves, so like me growing up and like bumping heads with my pops a lot and just, my mom having to choose between me and him at times, sometimes I got the short end of the stick. Sometimes he did. Sometimes he had to move out. Sometimes I had to move out, but just that dynamic forced me at a young age to really like, say, fuck this. I'm going to have to start, supporting myself, shit. You know what I'm saying? And make sure I had a roof over my head, shit.
And now that you've gone through so much between then and now, do you like now you grow up and like you think like, okay, I understand why like they move like that? And like you say they were healing.
Yeah, I like that question. I would say like, here's the thing, bro. Like my dad, right? Like when I was growing up, me and him would fight a lot. He was real like, abusive to everybody, to all of us, right? But I held a lot of bitterness to him. And I think like before he passed away, I feel like he kind of knew he was going to pass away because like a week or two before he kind of told me like, hey, I ain't got a lot of time, but I want to make shit right with you. And I kind of was like in my like rebel era, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, fuck, I'm finna shit on you. I'm finna, I'm gonna pop my shit. I was just starting to really like dive into music like that for real. So, I was being mad rebellious. I didn't make shit work. Then, a couple weeks later, he died, and like when he died, I really didn't grieve it the way most people would have. I was kind of like, finally, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to deal with him no more. I don't got to woo. But then as I start to like that was the start of me having to really take on manhood. You know what I'm saying? And when I took on manhood, like I had a lot of questions, you know, that I couldn't really ask another man because I didn't have no other father figure. You know what I'm saying? So I start having to like really find the answers in myself, right? So then I'm starting to realize like, damn, like he was just like me. He was just another dude trying to figure it the fuck out. And like, fortunately, I feel like I'm more of a optimistic person where some people are just more play victim, you know. And I think that my dad didn't really know how to heal, so he just coped. And you know what I'm saying? Just now, I just give him a lot of more forgiveness than I would have gave him back when I was first coming up. So, yeah.
Okay, and so you had a rough upbringing, you know, I'm sure. And then you mentioned that you had to find answers within yourself. I'm sure that came with a lot of trials and tribulations. I'm sure that came with a lot of losses, a lot of like, you know, a lot of experiences you learned a lot from. Were there, were there any times where you almost tapped out? You almost like said, you know,
Man, I mean, yeah, like, you know, a lot of people that have been following me for a minute know that like I went through a long era of like battling addiction. You know, I was with trapping and selling and doing it, and you know, Molly, all type of shit, Molly, Zans. You know, I was really consumed by that. You know, where I could have even died. You know what I'm saying? For real, like I've seen people die for less. You feel me? Like I've seen people pop the wrong pill the wrong day and they just check out. They didn't even do the shit as long as I was doing it, as much as I've been doing it. But you know, I think I would like to think that I'm really favored, and I'm really fortunate. I don't know who's on my side. I don't know what's going on up there, but something going on because I feel like I be catching a lot of breaks. You know what I'm saying? So um, I don't like to think everybody has those days where you like, damn, like I just want to give it all up. You know what I'm saying? But then there's other days, the next day or next 2 days, you might get a call or an opportunity, and you know, you salute yourself for just getting through that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta get through that shit.
100%. So like, now check it out, bro. You know, everybody got a sad story. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got stuff going on. Why should the people? Why should we care about your pain?
I don't want nobody to give a fuck about my pain, bro. Why you asking these dumbass questions, bro? Like, look, if it's not that I want people to give a fuck about my pain, it's just my story is for people who've lived that story. You know what I'm saying? There's people gonna hear my story and they're not gonna relate. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. That's okay. I still relate to a lot of other people. I mean, I still fuck with people that got different stories. You know what I'm saying? The point of my story isn't to say like this is the worst of the worst. The point of my story is to say like this is how I dealt with it though. Like it's not about what the fuck you've been through. Like everybody go through shit.
Yeah.
Fuck what you've been through. How the fuck did you take what you've been through and make something out of it? Because if you ain't did that, then shit, fuck you. Like shit, I don't want to fucking hear it. Because it's like everybody got a sad fucking story. I'm not sitting here telling my sad story just because I'm telling it so motherfuckers can see like, damn, like give motherfucker hope or something. Like, you feel me?
So like the sun shines for everybody. You feel me? And now as somebody that got through that storm, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's seeing that shine now. Let's talk about the grind. MvMix official. Satellite. When did this start?
Shit, MvMix official started. I was really doing this shit back in like 2013, like maybe like 2013, 2014. Made it official 2017, like actually LLC'd it. Made it a business, but at the end of the day, all MvMix official was me engineering and producing, like me transitioning in from trying to be a artist all the time and like starting to like, okay, now I'm gonna start recording people. I'm gonna use my talents to like not just put myself on, but like kind of put anybody who fucking with me on, and you know, make some money out of it. I told you I had to figure out how to get a bag. You feel me? I couldn't be sitting on my ass. I couldn't really just be a rapper, even though like I could have, but then I would have been broke. So it's like boom. So that's how MvMix official started. You know, just basically using my own talents to start, you know, giving it to other artists.
No, for sure. Trying to get to the bag like Mr. Krabs. Speaking of the bag, Do you remember the first dollar that you made off of music? Your very first
Oh
dollar.
shit. Yeah, the first dollar I made was way before that. I made my first dollar off music, I believe at like 16, 17 years old, um, with Mayu Entertainment back in the day. Frank, he's actually the owner of District over there in Milwaukee, and I think like fucking in Wicker Park or whatever. And he had a couple artists. He had Chico Red and he had Main Event, and they fucking they bought a beat off me.
Okay.
But I remember when they bought a beat though, they tried to get my social security number on that contract. And I remember that, and I was like, I don't feel comfortable putting my social on there, woo, woo, woo. And they were like, all right, fuck it, just sign it though. So they paid me for the beat, and fucking yeah, fuck it. That was my first time I'm making some money off of what I do.
Okay. So so what you do in the industry that you're in, what does grind, not just industry, but in your world, what does grind look like?
What does grind look like?
Mm-hmm.
Waking up and getting to it, bro. Like however the fuck you gotta get to it. But here's the thing though, bro, because I don't get it twisted, bro. Because like I feel like a lot of people will just do anything for a dollar. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's good to sit back and be not be broke, but like don't worry about making money right away from something. Build that shit so the value grows, and then once that money starts coming in, you're gonna reap the fruits of your labor. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not always like I caught myself doing this, when I was really thirsty. Like I was selling myself, $10 an hour, like, and like don't get me wrong, like it was cool at the time, but like now it's like I catch myself like, nah, I can't really sell myself short just to get a quick buck. Like, nah, sometimes I need to like sit down and build something worth somebody paying for it. And I say like, don't just provide service, like provide value and the money gonna come. You feel me? If you provide people with value, the money gonna knock on your door. You know what I'm saying? If you gotta chase money, that means it's running from you. So that's grinding. That's real grinding shit.
Yep. And I've heard you say, and I like the saying, I've heard you say it. You said, we don't chase money, we attract it. And that's something that I started gravitating towards, because you're right, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be chasing this bread. I'm not trying to, no, we're trying to bring it in towards us. We're trying to, like a magnet.
Providing value, bro.
Okay, for sure. And so now, where do you see yourself in like Chicago's legacy of legends?
Shit, I think I'm gonna be up there with like, I don't like comparing myself to people because I feel that my movement speaks for itself. There hasn't really been somebody who's doing what I'm doing the way I'm doing it. So but I would like to see myself as the calibers of like the 50s, the Diddies, no Diddy, but we gotta, I gotta be up there with the Diddies and them, bro. I gotta be at the white party, bro. Cause it's like, bro, how DBTV not at the white party though, bro? Look at what I'm doing, bro. We in the real life. We really in the trenches, bro. Like we really working with the people. We here with these people, and it's like I'm with the people that people talk about. You feel me? Like how are y'all not talking about me? Shit. So, like I would like to see myself in the next couple of years, like getting on that level though.
Okay, for sure. And so like, so if the grind was really working, wouldn't you be on by now?
Bro, you with these dumbass questions, bro. Like for real, like fall in love with the fucking journey, bro. I'm not worried about where the fuck I'm gonna be. I'm worried about, am I going the right way? Like motherfucker be running fast as hell, running the wrong way. Like damn, like you feel me? Like damn, like if you would have paid attention a little bit. But like, look, bro, like you know what? I might be able to one day say I'm on and I did it. But I know that even if I got to that point, that I feel like I wouldn't stop. I'm one of those people, bro. I could see myself 70, 80 years old still running shit. Like in some type of way. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, I retired at 60. Like nah, bro. I wanna work until I'm dead, bro. Like I wanna grind until I I want to be a part of people's lives until I'm dead, bro. Like real shit, bro. Like I don't want to fucking, yeah, that's weird.
No, for sure. And I see you doing that. I see the way that, you know what I'm saying? I see how you spoke about value. You say, like, so with that, MvMix, it's not just the studio then. The people coming in here, they're not just coming in here to just record, you know?
Right.
It's a different thing. Well, let's talk about that. What is MvMix?
What is MvMix? MvMix is a community, bro. Like our saying is be a better you. And like I created be a better you because, or the slogan be a better you because one, it's what's the word? Double entendre, right? Like on one side, it's be a better you because anything you bring in here is gonna walk out better than it you could have ever made it yourself, or you could ever go to anybody else. Like be a better you means you walk in here with what you got, and we gonna make it the best of the best version of yourself. You're gonna walk out the best version of yourself, right? But on the other side, it also means like literally just be a better you. You know what I'm saying? Like don't be a shitty ass person, bro.
Yeah.
Like be a better you for real, bro.
And so then what how do you go about that? What makes MvMix different? You know what I'm saying? How do you try to like implement that with
my style, bro? Like MvMix is my style. Like I started out from learning from you know, just working on my own music, right? And then I ended up meeting like MvMix, who's one of the best engineers and producers in Chicago. You know, he's worked with Juice WRLD, he's worked with all these top people. He's working with Lil Pump right now. But anyways, like I've learned styles from him. You know, watching him record. Like I've learned just a bunch of different people, and it kind of just created my own thing. And then just using like my process, like. People try to call me like a template engineer because I operate off a template. But how am I a template engineer when I'm sitting here, been doing this for all these years? You think I could do that with a template? Bro, nah, it's like the way I think. You know what I'm saying? Like you could record a song. Who's going to chop it like this? Who's going to bring that hook over here and chop that like that? And that's real producing. That's not no template shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about what you got. It's about what you do with it. It's about who's working this shit. You feel me? I know motherfuckers with the same camera, the same mic, the same this, same that, but it's not gonna be the same, bro. That's just being honest, bro. Like for real.
So with that comes, I know with that comes a lot of risk. What would you say is the biggest risk that you've taken with this?
I've spent thousands and thousands and tens of thousands and probably spent over 6 figures on my business, bro. Like I bet it on myself every fucking time. I bet it. There's been times, bro, where I spent all my money. I didn't even have nothing but $1,000 left in my bank account, and I said, you know what? I think it's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Like and nobody knew it. You know what I'm saying? I'm still walking. People think, oh yeah, he got it made. The whole time you don't even know. You probably got more money in your account than I do. But that's because I betted all my money on my business. I bet on myself at all times. The biggest risk I ever took was on myself.
So you know you always gotta bet on yourself. I think that's, you know what I'm saying. I think, and so with that betting on yourself, you do a lot of stuff. You say MvMix is not just a studio. How do you juggle all of these roles at once? I'm sure it's a lot on your plate.
Yeah, because I mean now we shooting videos, we doing content. You know, that's kind of where the industry's at right now. At the time when I first created MvMix, you know, what was hot was having the hottest music. Sounding good was tough. It was hard to find a good producer, let alone pay for it, right? So, but now, like with the way technology's moving, it's like now content is like the new thing, right? So we try to provide that. We provide that at MvMix too. So with it being a lot on my plate, I mean, that's why you know, I got more people on my team. You know, I got 905. You know, 905 is the GOAT. You know, I got Tony Stacks, right? We got Tony Stacks. We got fucking all these different people that play these different roles. So it's not just me no more. Like that's why it's MvMix. MvMix is not DBTV. You feel me? DBTV is me, but MvMix is a group of people that are just too smart for themselves, bro. Like we just like so crazy that we smart, like for real. So yeah, MvMix, man.
And so I know you mentioned like now you say you do content, all that stuff, and now in this day and age, artists need that in order to to promote their music. They need that to blow up. So like with that being said, do you have any artists that have come here that have you've developed that sound different, that came out different?
What do you mean?
Well, like, in Chicago, we have a lot of rap. We have a lot of like, what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a lot of people doing the same type of music.
So what are you asking? Is there anybody that we worked with that we blew up, or like that well, what are you asking?
Any artist that you developed that came out different?
Yeah, I guess, bro. Like, you gotta understand, like we got Fatso, we got Lil King. Like we were working with. I was working with FBG Duck, bro. Like FBG Duck, yeah, FBG Duck was always raw, but when he linked up with me, we created a sound, bro. Like he started playing the fucking game. You know what I'm saying? Like the game to being an artist is like recording so much that you create something new. Like because you know how like when you first start recording, you you're influenced by somebody, right? Or maybe a couple artists. So like you're putting those into your sound, and then next thing you know, you get tired of listening to that. You get tired of listening to yourself. You're like, man, I don't want to sound like that. Now you starting to play around in a booth. Now you starting to yodel on your ad libs or something, like, you know what I'm saying? And now you creating something that nobody's ever heard, but it still sounds relevant. So like, there's a lot of people. That's why MvMix is so raw, bro. Because it's like you go to another studio and you spending fucking 4, 5, 6 hours on one song. Because the engineer moving like a fucking turtle. But it's like you come to MvMix, you recording like 3, 4, 5 songs in a 3-hour session. You know what I'm saying? So it's like being able to record that many songs is artist development. That's real artist development. You feel me? Outside of like the business aspect of it, but you feel me?
For sure. So I see you working, and then you went bigger. You went with Hit House. It's a whole creative hub. What was your original vision for it? How did you come up with Hit House?
Hit House was originally just supposed to be like just a place where people rent rooms and where people just rent rooms and like kind of like Music Garage back in the day, and like 35th Street Studios, because that's where I came from. So it was meant to just be like a spot where people just rent a room, right? But as that happened, I'm just so like, I like to be so hands-on with people that like, it became really like a development center. Like then it's like, we providing peer space rooms, we providing music videos, content, studio, music studios, like all this different stuff. So it's like, bro, like, nah, like we need and then even private events, we was doing that, the open mics and shit. So it's like, nah, like we really developing people. So I was like, that's an artist development center, and then a content house. Like we sitting here fucking streaming, doing interviews and all type of shit. So it's like, nah, like we a content house, like artist development center too. But
for sure, that's a lot of creatives under one roof.
Right.
So how do you keep them working all together?
Some of them don't. I don't make nobody do anything they don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like the doors are open. Like you walk in here, somebody's always here. Somebody's always working. You feel me? So, if you do this, I do this, and we both here one day and we not booked, like, fuck it. How can I take what you do and what I do, and how can we do something together? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we working on building different platforms and all that shit, but that's, one video man over here with a studio platform. We got to work together. You know what I'm saying? It just happens organically. We don't force it. You feel me?
For sure. See, that's the second time I hear you talking about together. The first time you mentioned your team growing, that you grew your team, and now right now you're just saying that we can grow together. So what role does community play in this?
It's all politics, bro. Like, like shit. We all, the community is what we are who we are because of the community. You know what I'm saying? Like we around gangs. So it's like Chicago got to move different. We know this side knows this side, and these people know these people. You know what I'm saying? So next thing you know, like that's how things orchestrate. But I try not to really. I support the community, but I don't try to be a product of my environment. You know what I'm saying? I'm more like, look, like I know that I came from where I came from, but I'm not gonna be like that. But look, this is what we could do to build this type shit. So like, I don't really like to say like the community got anything to do with what I do, but they do. So I don't know. Okay. Take it how you take it.
Because what I'm hearing is you just renting out rooms and calling it an empire,
bro. No, bro. I just told you, bro. It started out as we rented rooms, and now it's grown to more, bro. Like we got, bro. If XYZ, let's say John Doe is doing, he's creating sets, production sets we can shoot videos at, right? Do interviews and all that shit. I'm doing studio, right? Then we got this person doing a platform, and then this person's doing tattoos, this person's painting, and then we sitting here throwing collective business events. How is that just renting rooms, bro? If that's the case, if we just renting rooms, bro, you can go anywhere, bro. You can go anywhere and succeed, bro. Hay House is what it is because we not just renting rooms, bro. You being around people that are not even on the same time as you, but it's like, how hard is it to find people that, like, there's people out here that rent rooms, bro, and they just sit there and do their own shit. Like, nah, like, we real life businesses in here, bro. Like, we real life is working with all type of people, bro. So no, we not just renting rooms. It's deeper than that, bro. I'm not gonna let you say that shit, bro. It's crazy.
For sure, for sure. And then after that, you flipped it again. Pioneer engineer bundles. You're
Right.
teaching artists to record themselves. Personally, I got a bundle.
Right, you got the bundle.
You know, so I think whoever hasn't gotten one been sleeping. I think they under a rock.
Yeah, well, wake their ass up.
But why was that important to you?
I want to give people I want to provide value, bro. Like, I want to provide value. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to record at all times? So if I know it's doable, why ain't I doing it? Most studios don't want to do that because they think they're gonna lose their clientele. I'm not worried about that. God got me, bro. Like, shit, like if I provide value, the money gonna come, and shit. Like, you bought a bundle, you still get studio time, you still ask for my help. XYZ, bro, it doesn't matter. Like, it's like, that's like me being at the door, walking through the door, and then I see Tony Sass coming through, and I'm like, close the door on your ass. Like, nah, bro, like, I'm finna open that bitch for you too. Feel me? Shit, like, that's how Chicago is, like a bunch of crabs in a bucket, bro. Like, and I'm trying to change that shit for real.
For sure, I do be seeing you showing mad love to everybody, not just specific people. Just you be showing that, and you use your platform for that. I see you
For
trying
sure.
to use your platform for the right stuff. How do you see it empowering artists with the pioneer engineer bundles?
It's taking artist development to another level. Like, there's a couple reasons, bro. Like, you learning how to record and being able to record at all times is what I just said with how MvMix, we record so many songs. You being able to record at home is going to be able to give you the practice that you need behind that mic to build something that's relatable, that sounds like it should be in the industry, but yet it's you and it sounds different. And that can only be done with recording all the time. Also, it's good to be able to get a bundle with a template from an engineer that's been producing all the top artists in the city anyway. You feel me? So, it's a no-brainer on why people should be buying that bundle. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got all the plugins, all the softwares you need, a class that teaches you how to use that shit from start to finish, and then if you got any questions, you could literally call the person who sold you the bundle. So, you feel me?
Yeah, for sure. And based on that, you said you've had some artists get the bundle off you. Now, have you had artists that you recorded before? They get the bundle after some time. They come back to a session, and you hear them, and and you hear that they've improved way.
Yeah, bro,
before.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you. I have people that bought this bundle, and they sit there and they come back, and I'm like, oh yeah, I could tell they've been working. But then there's people that buy the bundle, and I could tell they ain't been working. So it's really like, you can't cheat the work. You feel me? You can't cheat the work. But what the bundle does is it puts you in a very good position to outdo the next person.
But if you're teaching people to engineer, ain't that just more competition for you?
Yeah, bro. But I'm past that, bro. Like I'm not worried about anybody outdoing me, bro. I'm worried about outdoing me, bro. I'm trying to outdo me, shit. So if I'm sitting there still competing at who I was when I was at 2015, that's basically what I'm doing. If I sit there and compete with somebody who buys my bundle, that's me competing with my old self at 2015. So if that answers your question.
Okay, moving on from MvMix and Hit House, I see one of the most real parts of your story is the fight in family and child support. You know, it's the system versus fatherhood. As a father, what's been the hardest part?
And what you said? What?
One of the most real parts of your story
Yeah.
is the fight in family and child support.
Right.
So you, as a father, what's been the hardest part?
Figuring out how to properly maneuver through the legal system, like learning how to fight for your rights. It's not just about knowing your rights. It's about knowing how to invoke them. That's the hardest part, bro. And it's like, especially fathers, you know, some states are different, but some fathers do not have rights to their kids until they invoke them. And the thing is that they make it a way where it's damn nearly impossible to invoke them if you were never educated on how to, bro. I can't tell you how many dads want to be there for their kids, but because they don't know how to be there and they can't afford a lawyer, you know, that they sit in there just having to be, you know, on their own, like if they didn't create some kids.
So would you say fathers get the same respect as mothers?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This system is to tear families apart, bro. The system is created to take away fathers from the homes, and, you know, to incentivize women to be independent and show them that they can be independent. And there's nothing wrong with women being independent, but, you know, the best interest of the child is to have two parents. And that's point blank, period. Yeah.
So then what did that teach you about manhood?
That you can't back down. You can't back down. Like, there's been times, you know, like, you know, I'm still going to court now. There's been times where, like, I sat there and I knew the right. I knew my rights. I knew case law. I knew everything, but I didn't know how to really invoke it in the beginning. That the judge is literally looking at somebody who wants to be a dad and trying to tell him no for the sake of writing out a support order. Like, oh, okay, well, you know, if you can't do this, or you know, if you can't pay, we're going to send you to jail. We're going to find you in contempt. We're going to do this. And it's like, bro, like, how I'm here at every court date telling the court that I want my custody, but it's y'all more worried about child support than me even supporting the child. And the only reason why, like, they named it child support was because they want to have it like it's a branding thing. Because really, child support behind that name, it's really called Title 4D. It doesn't really sound too appealing, right? When you call it Title 4D, right? It sounds like a contract, because that's what it is. Child support is a voluntary program that is a contract, but the way they do it is they rent out the court. So the court is like a bunch of people in costumes, bro. Like, that judge, he's a real judge, but when he's that judge for child support, he's really they call it a fact finder, or like a judge magistrate, or an administrative hearing officer. He's nothing more than just somebody who's writing out the contracts, and you're either consenting to them or you're objecting to them. But I'll give you another example, like life insurance. You don't get that shit till you die, but they don't call it death insurance. Right? They don't call it death. Why? Because it doesn't sound appealing. It doesn't sound sellable. So they call it life insurance, child support. Like, you feel me? So that's how that shit works.
What moment tested you the most?
Them trying to lock me up for not paying a void order. Like, when they write these court orders, there's things they have to follow and proper procedures, you know, but they're only gonna follow those procedures if you hold them to it, right? So it's like this. It's like any Davis versus Page case law, right? Any support order written without a custody adjudication is void. That basically means if I don't got no custody over my kid, there's any child support order you write is void. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, like, you tell them that. Also, all the orders or temporary orders and child support orders they write out, it doesn't have under the seal of the court and signed by an actual acting judge, like an Article 3 judge. So therefore, that shit's void. But you know how they push it is basically those are contracts. When they write out those orders, they're really just contracts, and if you don't object to them, they're gonna presume that you are agreeing to what they're telling you to do.
So what's one thing you wish, or a couple of things that you wish that more fathers knew?
Their fucking rights. Their fucking rights. And the thing is that like fathers just need to know that you're born with you're I mean when your child when you have a child, there's God-given rights. You have the right 50-50 to that kid. You have you and like it doesn't matter if the mother alienated him for a couple years or whatever. You have the right to invoke your rights. You have the right to your children, bro. Like, and I know sometimes it sucks, bro. It sucks having to go through that shit, but lawyers ain't gonna help you, bro. Lawyers is not gonna help you. Lawyers are trained under the same statutes that judges are, and they all in this together, bro. So you gonna get the best father's rights lawyer, and they're just gonna give you some custody. You're gonna have to pay support, and you're just gonna be sucked into this hole of child support, bro. I seen people lose their homes, lose their cars, you know, $50,000 in arrears, and it's just like the child support is in the best interest of the state, not the family. That's Blessing versus Freestone. The way that they try to enforce certain supports like child support or even the IRS and taxes and stuff like that, they'll do like little loopholes like equity court and stuff like that, or they'll call it like other little dumb things, bro. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the fuck they're trying to push. What matters is that us as people had the Constitution for us, and nothing is superior than the Constitution. So you have Article 1 court, 2, 3 court, Supreme Court, XYZ, right? Constitution and the supremacy clause is superior to any court below it. So it doesn't matter what the fuck this state says, it cannot go against the Constitution. So if you're trying to hold me in jail for anything more than $20, I better get a fucking trial by jury. So you know what I'm saying? And that's just how that go. But I will actually get more in depth with terms. But like when I do my consultations with people, you know, I try to just really go. I don't like to send people off by trying to memorize everything. I'll just pull it out right up there and we'll talk about it. We'll go through it, you know.
For sure, for sure. If it's one thing that you could change about the system, what would it be?
Not allowing mothers to dictate what's in the best interest of the child. You know, like it should be mothers and fathers. It shouldn't just be mothers. Like you get a guy and a girl. They have a kid. They're together for 2 years. They break up, and all of a sudden, the mother is playing this. I think that the child will be better off without the father. Who the fuck are you to say that? Then you get this kid who grows up to be 18, and they're sitting there ready to crash out because they miss their dad. You know, like they wanted time with their dad that they can't even get back. But the way that the system is, it's hard for us fathers to invoke our rights. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine if the script was flipped and we break up and I take the kid and the mom's got to go through court and do everything that we got to do? It seems crazy, right? And that's because it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I stand with that.
And so based off of that, how has this shaped how you lead now?
Well, how's what shaped?
How's your way of thinking of like what you would change in the system? How has that changed how you lead now?
I think me personally, with me learning everything that I've learned, I'm not scared of court, right? A lot of people, they're scared of court. Where me, and I was, you know, there's times where it's because some of these people are really crooks, you know, and if you allow them to do something, like some people ask me like, oh, the judge wants to do this. Is he allowed to do that? Well, the answer is yes, if you don't know how to tell him no. You know what I'm saying? So just me, I guess how it shaped me is, you know, I've learned how to take what's mine, my rights. I learned how to grab my rights. I learned how to take, you know, and I'm still fighting, you know, like, but at the end of the day, like, I've gotten to this far, and I know that one day it's gonna go in my favor.
If you don't want to pay child support, does that mean you just not trying to support your kids?
Bro, I just told you child support is called child support just because it sounds good, but it's not about. I want to support my kids, bro. But even this case law, Ramsey versus Ramsey case law, I think it was in 1889 or some shit like that. And what the Supreme Court decided was that when the kid is not in the dad's custody, he does not have to pay support. What does that mean? That means that if I have a kid with somebody, right, and they alienating the child from me, right? And if they're alienating the child from me, I don't owe you shit. I don't owe you shit. You can't just take away my kid and say and then tell the courts, oh, this guy don't see his dad. He's inconsistent. Well, yeah, I'm inconsistent because you alienating the child from me. So therefore, Ramsey versus Ramsey, I don't gotta pay you shit until you gonna give me what's mine. And even when you give me what's mine, I'm only paying for when the child is in my custody. When he's with me, he's good. He's eating. He's eating steak and lobster. He's fucking dressing in that shit, right? He look good. He look healthy, right? But that's when he's with me. When he's with you, you make sure that he's straight. Shit.
For sure. Shit, you've been fighting. I see you've been fighting. You've been building and you've been leading. That's big mogul energy. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of, what does mogul mean to you?
And I let people make the titles, bro. I don't make them. If they call, I appreciate that. But if they call me what, like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like telling people. I don't know what I am, bro. I'm me. I am what I am. Shit.
DBTV universe. Describe that in 3 words.
Where did universe come from, bro? What's DB773 DBTV, bro? But what about it? What did you say? What people what?
773 DBTV.
Bro, yo ass. All right, 773 DBTV. What is that?
Yeah, describe that in 3 words.
Satellite. It's satellite. That's what we call it.
For sure. Why satellite?
Because I'm keeping the world connected.
Okay.
Shit.
Who do you look up to, and what would you do differently?
I don't think I would do anything different, bro. I think that my life was paved. I think my soul picked this body because he knew that I was gonna go through what I went through, and I needed to go through everything I went through to learn what my soul needed to learn, bro. Like I wouldn't have if I was in somebody else's body, I wouldn't have learned what I learned from this one. You know what I'm saying? And I don't regret shit, bro. I really feel like, my mistakes, I own them.
Earlier you mentioned how like artists sometimes when they start making music, they start, they're influenced by some people or a couple of people.
Yeah.
Who do you look up to? Not just in music, but like in life. And like, what would you do differently from the people that you look up to?
I really haven't had a lot of people that I looked up to. I like what a lot of people are doing dope shit. It's really not about people because I'm you and you're me, bro. Like we're really each other. Like we really like mirrors. We're all each other, bro. And it's like, I can't sit here and tell you that I'm influenced by anybody, bro. I'll sit there and look at what this guy's doing and be like, oh, I really like how, GG23, Gary the Numbers Guy, I really like how he's doing this numerology and I really resonate with it. But I really like how 607 Unc is really into being spiritual. And then I really like how Diddy's running his business, but it don't mean that I'm looking up to them. It just means that I really resonate with what they believe in and I make it my own, So.
Speaking of resonating and vibrations and frequencies, what would you say is your bigger why? What's your reason, your bigger reason?
My reason for what?
Just to do what you do.
But what are you talking about? You said something about vibrations. What do you mean?
Just like, I don't know, I guess like your calling, your higher calling. What do you say is your calling?
My calling is to create things that motivate and change people to be better. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help people become better, be a better you. I'm here to be that. I'm here to help people become better them. Shit.
Sure.
For real, that's what I'm here for.
So how does energy guide you, or how do you let it guide you?
I learned like, how does energy guide me? You know, energy. What are, to break this down, bro? Because this is a deep concept. But I'm gonna tell you like this. Look, bro. When you break things down, right, all the way in scientific form, what is it? What's the smallest thing? An atom, right? An atom. So when atoms come together, and they say that things never touch, right? But atoms, when it comes together, it becomes a solid, right? But at the end of the day, what is the atom doing? It's vibrating, right? These things are like vibrating, right? What's vibration? I'm asking you, what's vibration?
Vibration is like
sound,
yeah.
Right? When you ding, what is it doing? Mm-hmm. It's vibrating and creating a sound, right? So what are we? We're sound. Mm-hmm. We're sound, bro. Like we're literally changing our vibration. We're changing our song. You know, there's people that sing a sad ass song all fucking day and wonder why their life sucks. And I even told you with certain people's names, I was like, listen, look at their name, bro. This dude is a rapper and he calls himself this. And why do you think his life is like that? Right, because when you say a word, isn't that a vibration that you putting out in the air when you say a word?
Yeah.
Right. And so that's why when you talk to water, if you ever talk to water and you be like, bitch, 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 and then you freeze it and it's all like shriveled up, and then you sit there and you say, I love you, I love you, I love you to the ice, and it freezes beautifully. So you got to watch what you say to your kids. You got to watch what you say to yourself. Some people be like, oh, I'm so slow. Well, yeah, it makes sense. Because you keep telling yourself you fucking slow. Don't talk to yourself like that. Speak about yourself highly. Even if you're not there, you're going to keep singing that song, and that song's going to end one day. And when that song is done, I bet you're your highest version. So
yeah, that manifestation, everything we speak comes into existence. That's real. I agree with that, you know?
But you have to, it's not just manifesting. You have to put yourself on the playing field you have to attract it, right? Like you can't, like, what is, if I want to attract a fine ass woman, right? Mm-hmm. I need to make sure that I'm doing shit that fine ass women like. What do fine ass women like? Well, shit, they like a dude who's getting to it, dude who's disciplined, dude who probably got his hair cut, dresses nice, takes care of himself, right? That's what you do. I can't just sit there and say, I want to be a millionaire, a billionaire, and I'm not sitting there doing what other millionaire and billionaires are doing. So yeah, I can't just be over here kumbaya'd out and think that the fucking $1 million is going to come knock on my door. You got to put yourself in sight. So that way the money, the $1 million looks at you like, oh, okay, I see he's acting like these other millionaires. Boom, let me give this to you. That's how that works.
And apart from that, what other advice would you give to other people? Because I think that's great advice, you know what I'm saying? What other piece of advice would you give to people who are also trying to build, say something like Hit House, trying to build an MvMix, trying to build the empire?
Yeah. Man, just start. It's okay not to know everything. Some people, and like myself at times, sometimes I start things and I want it to be finished already. Like I want it to already be where in my head where I see it. And sometimes you need to start and be okay with just starting and it not be there. You not be where you want it. You know what I'm saying? Me starting streaming, you know, I learned from streaming I could build platforms, and then I learned how to use, you know what I'm saying? And now I'm evolving into different things. And I didn't always think that I was going to be right here. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd be lying to y'all if I told y'all that I always knew I was going to be here. Like I always knew I was going to be in the industry, but I didn't know what my potential was until I learned step by step. You got to fall in love with the journey more than the finish line.
So at your level right now, mogul, would you say it's premature? You're not there yet. Right?
I never said I was a mogul. You did. I never said that. You did. Like people, bro, I don't want to sit here and be like I'm anything greater than anybody, bro. Like the janitor ain't no different than the boss, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I was working at Cricket, they talked down on me, and the whole time I'm probably making way more money than my boss at Cricket. You know what I'm saying? Like, so every dog got his day, bro. Like, I don't, I might be a mogul today and I might not be tomorrow. I might, like, I'm not worried about titles, bro. Like, I'm not worried about none of that shit. I just want to fucking work.
And I do want to wrap this up on the realist because, like you said, we all got our good days and we all got our bad. I want to talk about your brokest moment. How did you flip it? Some of the bad.
How did I flip my brokest
Yeah,
moments?
like when you was
Bro,
down.
like, I was out here finessing, bro. I was out here, fucking, shit I did what any other dude from the city do when you down bad, bro. Like, I sat there and got to it, bro. Like, I sat there, I started with a little bit and flipped it to a lot, like, bro, like anybody else would and shit. People see me. You can YouTube that, man. Like, Famous Dex used to put, fake lean, and he didn't know it was fake lean, and I'm sitting there in the back like, yeah. You feel me? So, I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it, and I'm grateful that I don't have to do that no more. I'm grateful that everything I do right now is abundance of wealth, and that I don't have to sit here and break any laws to get it. You feel me? And I'm grateful for that, bro. Yeah. But my brokest moments were not pretty. Not pretty. I don't wish that shit on nobody.
If I see you're very passionate on fatherhood and being a father, if your son watched this 10 years from now, what would you want him to be his biggest take, his biggest lesson from this?
Nobody's gonna hand you nothing, but everybody's gonna be there to take it when you get it.
So, what would you say is something that, like, what's wrong? What's one thing that people always get wrong about you?
I think that most people would say that I'm, like, arrogant. Most people would probably say, that I'm selfish. I think a lot of people would probably say, honestly, a lot of people hate. I don't even want to focus on that because there's a lot of people that see the amazing stuff about me, so, but I think that I would just say, like, a lot of people that don't know me would be like, oh, he's a little arrogant or he's this and that. But when you really get to know me, you're like, like, I'm confident. Like, I'm confident in what I'm doing, and I'm not going to let a lower vibrational person tell me otherwise. You feel me? The people with higher vibrations, we don't think like that.
You mentioned grinding and hustling until you was 70, 80. So if you lost all of this tomorrow, how would you rebuild?
I'd figure out what's hot, and I figure out my strengths and how to adapt my strengths into that industry, and I would start. I would start something. I would get alongside of somebody who's doing it. That's how can I be a service to them? And I would learn the way, and then I would, boom, start my own branch from that.
So see, me, sometimes I like to think that success is subjective, but, like, I want to know, what's your definition of success? How do you see it?
Success is being able to wake up and have the choice to do what you want to do, or or be a service to others. Like, being able to wake up with choices. That's success. You know what I'm saying? Success isn't $1 million in your bank account. Success isn't bonuses or any of that. And all those things are beautiful and amazing. But, there's people out here that win the lottery and then they're broke the next year because they don't know how to handle the money. So success really comes from being able to wake up and not have to stress about anything. That's success to me. Yeah.
For sure. So, and what's one quote? What's one quote you live by?
There's a couple. I like if it ain't growing, it's dying. I like be a better you. But I seen this one from Thomas Edison or yeah, I think it was Thomas Edison or something. But he was saying that the freedom isn't free. The price we pay is being vigilant all the time, like 24/7, being vigilant. I forgot how he worded it, but basically, freedom isn't free. The price we pay is being vigilant.
For sure. So if you lost all of this tomorrow, you really think you could bounce back, or you just talking?
I like to think so. I hope I never got to prove it. Shit, But I've lost it all and got it back a few times, bro.
Man, I'm glad that we was here. I'm glad to have had you here sitting on this couch. We've done a lot of interviews, but to have you know what I'm saying, do the interview, I
Yeah,
think the people gonna learn a lot. And people should be excited.
for sure. I appreciate it.
I seen you worked with some rapper named Baeza, and I saw he got locked up for allegedly messing with an underage girl. Well, what are your thoughts on that?
Bro, I'm not using this platform to talk about no child molesters, bro. But whatever. Basil, we used to work with him back in the day, you know, like before Chief Keef was popping and shit like that. You know, like we had artists like Kirk Bangs and Baby Bash were like, you know, like we was doing shit for the bitches, you know. And Basil was like one of the people coming up that was like up there, you know what I'm saying? And it was with Baeza, Sober, you know, you got the fucking Lil Litos and shit. And you know, we made that type of music. And the thing is that when we were coming up, like some of the entertainments that threw shows, they threw shows like 18 and up, and then they sit in there letting like 15, 16 year olds get in if they pay like extra, you know. So then you got these 20-year olds, you know, 20, 21, 22-year old artists performing at shows where there's fucking underage girls, you know what I'm saying? And you know, even when I was back doing that shit with them, like I've seen like some off the wall shit, bro, and I was just like, yeah, this ain't it, you know. So I kind of like, you know, did my own thing and distanced myself from that crowd. But to go back to like Baeza, bro, like that shit's devastating, bro. And it wasn't just his an underage girl, it was his daughter, bro. You know, I would like to think that no father would ever take advantage of their daughter like that. That's insane and it's just disgusting. And honestly, I don't even want to talk about it no more, to be honest. It's just crazy. But yeah, you know, I don't support that. You know, Chicago don't support any of that shit. That shit is devastating, and I hope any of the people like, you know, Lil Lito and Sober, I hope that we all stand on that because that shit is insane, bro. Yeah.
All right, so thank you for sliding by, sitting on the couch today. Having you at the Hit House was an honor. You know what I'm saying? We usually interview people, but like just to have you just sitting there by yourself and let the people know a little bit about yourself, what you stand on, what you think about, I think is
Yeah, but you gotta work on better questions though, bro. We're going better questions for the future, bro. Can we get better questions for the future, bro?
so.
All right, bet. Hey, shout out my boy Stacks, man. That's my dog for real. You know, shout out 905. Shout out everybody that's a part of the Hit House. You know, mad love to you guys. High end designs. You know, be on the lookout. 773 DBTV, man. We taking over for real though.